Speaking of starting something new, you did mention the ProAm. First, explain why.
Midwest Drift Unit existed whenever I was first getting into competition. To get my license, I had to drive like 17 hours to VIR. And luckily I only had to do it once and I got it. Ever since then, I'm like, damn dude, like there's a void here that needs to be filled. And like someday I would love to start my own. We're just trying to make sure that we develop a guy and really help set him up to do well in ProSpec. To actually be prepared to drive an FD, it all starts with what you guys are doing there. If your judging standard is high, you have good drivers, and you have to have a good competitive track. I could care less if I make a dime on this series. If I do, sick. To me, it's the overall big picture, and it's kind of a passion project. I love drifting. This shit's my life, and I just want to make it better.
All right, we are back at yet another Formula Drift, except this time we're here at Road Atlanta. And we have a familiar face with us. Quite a while. We just actually talked about it. About 2 years. With Derek Madison.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, dude.
Love it.
Always welcomed on.
How's Atlanta treating you so far?
It was wet as fuck yesterday,
dude,
and I was not happy about it.
Yeah, we had a river running through our pits, and I just owned it. Took the shoes and socks off, rolled the jeans up.
I bet you are in a bad spot down there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything runs downhill, and like we're like halfway down, so some of the areas was like an inch of water, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want the shoes and socks saturated already. I'll just, I'm taking them off.
Just chilling in the swamp, no big deal.
But it's not bad. I mean, everything's been good. The weather's beautiful today, 70 degrees.
Yeah, we got a good overcast too. So
yeah. It's almost like a little breeze. It might be chilly.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Perfect.
Hell yeah. Well, I know it's been quite a while since we kind of caught up or anything. How has your just drift season been going so far?
So far, it's gone about as bad as it can. You know, we talked right before my rookie year in pro, and like we had a lot of mechanical issues first year. You know, couldn't keep a belt on the car, which was a damn shame because you know you come in guns a blazing, and weren't able to do a whole lot of that. But you know, we did pretty well. We had some really good runs. You know, had a battle with James Dean that went pretty well. We lost, but the way it could have gone, I was very happy with it. Team was stoked. We ended up starting to throw together a new car and got it going for the second half of the year, and it was good. Last year, so we built the car in 2 weeks. We had to build it between Orlando and Jersey, which is like 10 working days. So
which most people probably say, bad idea.
Oh, yeah, and we have day jobs, man. So it's like we get off at 5 and we're there till like 2, 3 a.m. and go to work again. So the wiring, I guess, wasn't optimal. It worked for the rest of the year great, but last year we just started getting gremlins and like we're like, oh, this is shutting off. Like it's turning the car off. Like what's up? And it turns out everything was shutting off. So we rerouted the car over the off season, and everything is
What got messed up in the wiring?
I don't know. We couldn't find it. We found like a couple of like loose connections that maybe could have like led to something, which, you know, like all the vibrations from our cars, all the solid mounts, it's just death to everything. So it was probably just a deterioration over time. And, you know, God knows we put it into a wall a time or two.
Oh, yeah.
But this year we rewired the whole car, went to town, and it came out great. Fluke issue, engine blew first round. We blew a head gasket and like literally melted the cylinder head. So one of our boys from Coilover Depot was staying with a friend right up the road, like 2 minutes away. And he's like, he's got a shop and his roommate works for this seat shop. And so we took it to this seat shop and he tigged it all back together and like sanded it smooth with like glass and sandpaper. And I'm like, this looks way too good. And we made it back for qualifying, qualified 32nd. You know, I was just happy to even make the run. Even if we didn't qualify, I would have been happy. So yeah, we did that and then windowed it worse than I've ever seen the next day. And, you know, we took last year's motor. So we have a partnership with Reagan Technical College. It's where I went to school, and they have a full motorsports program now. And they have like full engine building facility. And my buddy Zach works there. He's like the head of the motorsports area. And so we took last year's motor, and it was still in pieces, and that was going to be our backup for this year. And we just had tons of late nights, and he did a bunch of machine work on the block, make sure it was all back to 100%. And a couple of my boys came out, and I was just doing anything I could, because I'm not a machinist, you know, but I did what I could, like built the heads, did stuff like that. And then we all kind of helped assemble it to an extent and retuned, made the most power we've ever made. Hell yeah. Made 1,070 on a Mustang dyno, so it's probably more on a hub, but
yeah.
you know, I'm not complaining. First time I ever got to see 4 digits. So yeah, I mean, but this round we came back, things are good. Car was running solid. We only got 1 lap in the first practice session because 2 people blew up or oiled the track down, so that sucked.
How often does that happen? That's got to happen.
Not
every
very
single...
often.
Really?
Like, it was just it's weird that it's happening so early. You know, I don't know. I think Simon blew a motor and Beecham blew a diff.
Is that the moment you're talking about?
Yeah, Beecham blew a diff and oiled the track down, so that was a delay. And we were like up next for run when it was done. Yeah. So we got 1 in the first one, and we got 3 in the second one. And one of them, our car just turned off. Don't know why.
No idea?
Maybe it was me. I don't know. But we were going down the hill, and I initiated, and I dropped clutch to like light off, and it just did nothing. So I just pulled off into the grass, and then it was time to qualify.
Yeah.
So
that was the first qualifying run?
No, that was in last lap of practice.
Oh,
so
okay,
first qualifying run, it
looked like you came down the hill like
slow.
Yeah,
I don't know
really
why,
slow.
dude.
Didn't have all the power in it.
No, I did.
Did?
It was just me. I don't know why. No, I'm a full tilt boogie kind of guy, so like I let off and I was like, "What are you doing?" So I initiated, and like it was fine, but because I let off, because you are going really fast on that hill, and like maybe because I was in my head because of lack of practice, I was like, "Don't kitty litter it." So just let out now, and then we'll just send it in nice and easy. But I ended up super inside on that zone, and it kind of set you up for shit.
Screws the entire lineup, yeah.
Yeah, and then temperature dropped like crazy, and I noticed all these cars were just gripped to 9,000. So we loosened the car up a little bit and loosened the car up too much. And I start in second, and I drive in third, so I only have to shift once. And as soon as I mad third gear and hit the throttle, it just stepped out. And if you know about FD rules, if you step out and straighten up to like try to get it going again, it's a 0. It's done. So I had to commit to the bit way too far up the hill. Was not on purpose. I was like, damn, we loosened it a little too much. But I initiated, had to hold the handbrake for like 2 business days. And yeah, set me up really bad for the rest of the run. And I came up shallow into the keyhole because it was so loose there. I got nervous. So I was like, cool, I'll let off early. Of course, too shallow in the keyhole. Grabbed a handbrake to try to touch the zone even. And kind of got it. But set me off on a weird trajectory. And as soon as I touched the gas, I just looped it. It's like stupid.
It looked like several people were having the same issue in that spot where and Ben, for one, he looped it in the same exact spot.
Really? Well, it's really weird there because it's so off camber and you really can't tell. You can't tell on video at all. When you get here, you can kind of tell, but when you're on track, you're like, shit, there's like a lot of like grade here.
Yeah.
So when you go down and you like try to throw the car around, it naturally wants to just take it all the way around or send the whole car to the bottom. So when people miss that clip, like, it's legit. This shit's hard. This track is hard. So yeah.
Was it easier on the old layout?
Well, the keyhole didn't change. So that is the same.
Well, yeah, but your what comes after that, you didn't have the outside zone there. So you weren't
that part's
making
awesome.
it as tight after the keyhole.
Well, if you hit the zone, the inner clip there at the bottom of the keyhole, the next one's cake. It's like the right trajectory. But last year, I think it was, they moved the top of the keyhole out a little bit. So you got to like hold it out extra far and then like weirdly drive the car back into the clip. So it's just kind of like, it's just weird. It's the best way I can put it. It's difficult because it's tricky. It's obviously doable. We all do it, but it can get away from you really quickly. So yeah, I just went with it and I made a mistake and screwed myself. But you know, we made it in the show. I think we got like 28th, which I hate, but you know, we landed, I think we got 29th. We got Chris Forsberg tomorrow. I got pretty high hopes on it. He's a great driver. I don't have to hold back or anything. And, you know, I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could take anybody out at any point. You know, I just got to have everything planned for my team. You know, we got to get our practice laps in and cars got to work. Car's working. We just didn't get a lot of practice and we'll see what happens.
What is it about this track that throws drivers off so much?
So the judging areas have moved a little bit. So like the inner clips used to be track edge and now they're like 5 foot in. So our brains are wired to go to the track edge. So that's why everybody's missing these inner clips like crazy and like driving way inside. It's because like that's what we're used to doing. And so that's part of it. But another part is like, dude, this track is, when I say it's hard, like it's tough. Like the elevation is tough. And like, if you're just going to drive it, it's easy. But to touch the zones that you need to hit, like everything has to be perfect because you're going so fast down the hill. You got to find your entry point perfect every time to where you're not holding handbrake too long or overshooting that. And you've got that. And then up the hill, it's like you're accelerating like crazy. And you're like, cool. On a flat track, I would need to let off now, but because it's uphill, I need to let off way later. So it's a whole different like thing in your head to like hit the top of the keyhole, right? And then the keyhole is very technical. So which is good. It should be that way. You know, we're supposed to be the best drivers in America. We should be able to kill this every time. But it's difficult. It's very, very technical. And yeah, going down the hills, cakewalk. That's easy peasy. But yeah, it's just everybody's cars, I think, evolve. Our cars get faster. Our cars get grippier every single year. So while the track is hard, we have to relearn the car just a little bit. And even though we all have setup notes from the year before, something's different. You know, whether it be rain or shine or whatever.
And qualifying's back, so that changes a lot too.
Yeah,
especially
and everybody,
on setup.
Everybody's trying to game the system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we know there's a criteria, and they're like, if you hit it just right, you'll get max score. So people aren't driving like themselves and crazy. They just want to maximize the data.
Oh
and
yeah.
I can't.
Have you been doing any of that?
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Not...
I don't know, dude. I'm a very straight up dude. I'll never play games in drifting in my life.
Do you think that not
that that's a game
crutch for you, or not
creates
a crutch,
what?
but like
a crutch? No, I mean, yeah, I guess technically. You know, not everybody's doing it, and like it's not wrong that they do. We're all racing drivers. We're gonna like Jared said in the live stream earlier. We're all gonna try to find a way to leverage ourselves. And when they're telling us straight up, like, yeah, this is how you maximize points, people are gonna change the way they're driving and qualifying to get a better score. And my brain just can't correlate that because it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'll get there.
You don't even do like car setup changes, like up the wheel speed, any of that stuff?
No, we do that in practice. And that's that. And I practice like I play. You know, I drive hard in practice. That's unfortunately why I bump and grind sometimes, because I'm not going to change anything then. And maybe I should, because obviously the best drivers in the world are doing it.
So I was curious to see what would happen this year, because if they're removing, or if it's all from a computer that's judging it, it really eliminates the wow factor look from having the extra wheel speed. So there's more tire smoke and all that stuff. But obviously the veterans are still doing it.
Yeah.
But like it's not adding anything. It feels like just a waste of money at that point.
When the dudes have been doing this a long time, they're all killers, man. So like they're going to get it dialed no matter what, and they can do it with style. And we still have 20 style points to kind of get ourselves right. So that can kind of separate. Like you and I can do the same run, but if you do it more stylishly than I do, you're still going to get more points, which, you know, you see out there. Like if you pay close attention to the live stream, it'll show the Race Data Lab score at the bottom of all that stuff. And like yours and I's can be the same, but style can change it all. So there's a little human aspect to incentivize drivers to do cool shit. But if your data is better, then, you know, you're still going to be higher, you know? So I'll probably get there at some point. I just hate it.
Not the analytical guy.
Well, it's not that necessarily. It's just like, I don't like to change what I'm doing to try to game something. And not that it's a bad thing. It's just not me, you know?
Yeah.
Probably I'm putting myself at a deficit by not. But no, it's I think the data is a great thing overall. I think it needs some dialing in to get right, but it really takes away all the favoritism, and which we know exists.
Makes things quicker too.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Which I love.
Chris, Race Control, today in the driver's meeting was like, yeah, it was 60 seconds from time of start to time of score. And he's like, we've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing, and it's definitely going to grow the sport, better the sport. And I hope we can get it locked in, because it's sick. Yeah. It's sick.
So you would overall say that it was a good change to make on FD's part, to go back to qualifying and incorporate
qualifying
Wally.
Is sick, and the seating bracket was fun because you get to battle more. But like, unless you get out of the seating bracket, which is tough because you're battling a top 8 driver every time. Like, so they're hard to beat no matter who you are. Even the top 8 drivers struggle to beat top 8 drivers. It's a tough battle. So unless you get out, you're stuck there. So in qualifying, like let's say here I'm not the best driver. I drive really well in Orlando and really well in Jersey. And so I can do a qualifying run there and kill it. And maybe I end up in the top 15, top 10 because I can lay a way better run there. But if in seating bracket, you know, I'm still stuck in the back. If I get knocked out in 32, I'm still stuck back there. And that's a bummer for sure. So I think qualifying is a big positive change for the sport. And I think the data is going to lead us down a really good path because you can't argue with data. As long as it's dialed in, locked in, and everything like that, you know, there are improvements that need to be made for sure. But once they do, there's no arguing with that. It's not like you got a guy saying, dude, you suck. That was bad. It's data being like, here you go, dude.
Yeah.
Do better.
Yep.
So I like it.
Do you think if qualifying was brought back without the Wally system, it would still be appreciated in the same way?
Oh yeah, definitely
Okay.
better. We didn't know
agree.
the Wally was coming until like a month before race season start. So we all wanted it back just because like it's more fair, you know. You don't have to worry about how you did last round to worry about how well you're going to do this round, because you know any fluke could happen to the best driver and they go out in 8 or 16 or whatever, and they could qualify first the next round, but now they're stuck in whatever place they finished. So I think everybody wanted it for a fairness factor, but I think Wally's a good asset for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you think there's what you mentioned changes, like it needs some fine tuning and dialing in? What would you specifically want changed within the system or the algorithm, whatever it is?
That's tough. So car measurements aren't perfectly correct, I guess.
Like the actual dimensions of the car?
So like one thing that we're seeing is like drivers, like you'll see it on video, they clearly missed the zone and they'll have like a 75% fill score. And you're like, all right, that wasn't quite right, you know?
Yeah.
And or vice versa, you know, like, yo, they just barely grazed the wall. That was sick. And they'll get like 18 points of deduction as if they buried the car. And, you know, that goes in all directions of all parts of it. So if they could like more accurately measure the vehicles, that'd be sick. But like another part is GPS.
Is the measurement of the vehicle or is it the placement of the device?
Well, they're supposed to place it dead center, and they have the measurements of the vehicles, so they're probably correct on that. But they had us measure our own vehicles, and they don't do the corners. They just do front, back, and track width and vehicle width. So it's like it's hard to get dead nuts, you know. Like if there was like a CMM machine where like they could walk around and get dead measurements of every car, you could do it pretty easily. Costs a lot of money, but you could do it simply for less money. It'd just be more manual, and like then you get more accuracy. But you know, I don't know if it has relation to software or the GPS data being uploaded. That's a whole nother game that's tough, you know, because they GPS map the whole track and they place the zones where they want them. Does the box correlate to location perfectly? That's another thing. It's pretty damn close either way, you know.
Do you think that information would be good for spectators to like display within live stream, like as the all that dead time before the show actually starts of explaining stuff
and
like
I
that?
haven't watched to see if they're actually doing that, and maybe they are already.
I haven't either.
And I know they do some explanation on it, which is good because they show all like the zone fills. And I know in round 1 there was like a communication error between computers where like it would show the fill, but it wouldn't show the deduction. So like drivers would like bury it into the wall, and they'd get 100%. And people were like, that doesn't make sense. But now it's like calculating in the live stream, so you get more of a realistic thing. But
now, what are you seeing out of the judges and stuff when mistakes like that happen within the Wally system? Like, are they just completely excluding that?
No, they'll override it.
Okay.
Yeah, and they'll make the change that needs to be made, to my understanding anyway. You know, and like Long Beach, they're like, yeah, there's some mistakes, so like we made some changes just so you guys know. And it's not that they were fudging anything; they were just trying to correct things. So I think that's positive that there's still judges, and like we've got good judges. There's no doubt. I mean, everybody's gonna hate because their boy lost or whatever, or maybe they made a bad call. But dude, we're all human. It happens. It happens. Sometimes you're on the side of the good. Sometimes you're on the side of the bad. But I think it's good that they're still there and kind of overwatching what's going on. If something doesn't make sense, easy. If that's a 0, you're still going to get a calculated score if you finish the lap, and they can override it, put it to 0. So there's still a little bit of that going on. So I think it's a good thing, definitely.
I know they mentioned, it has nothing to do with Wally, but They mentioned that drivers now have to schedule times with the judges in order to like convene with them on what's going on. Can you explain a little further the stipulations behind that and what that entails?
It was very roughly explained to us, so I'll do my best.
Makes sense.
So drivers lose, they don't think they lost, they get pissed, they're in the tower, and they're discussing, sometimes loudly, but they get upset because they lost, and they're like, yo, this is obviously bullshit, look at this. And in Long Beach, it happened a couple of times, and it really disrupted the flow of the show.
Oh,
so
okay.
They're like, cool, no more of this. We're going to set up a time after to talk about it. And, you know, if we deem it correct, we will take the winning driver's points away. We'll give you that win, but they don't get the opportunity to move on, which sucks. I don't like that protests went away, but they also kind of needed to go away because people were doing it
excessive, yeah.
Oh, I lost. Here's $250. Protest. Like, that's crazy, but I don't know, dude.
I didn't even know it was like a cash, like you paid for that.
It used to be, it was like most expensive in 32 because they didn't want protests in 32. And then it would get cheaper as the time went on. But yeah. But like teams would just be like, oh, we didn't lose. Here you go. So that's why they took him away. I get it. It sucks because there are times where a protest is warranted. But now they're just straight up like, cool, don't talk to us till the event's over or the day is over, per se. And then we'll talk about it, you know? And I think it was just to keep the hubbub down and try to keep the flow of the show going. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the show. You know, we're just the competitors, but we also have a lot of skin in the game too, a lot of money. Like teams spend $1 million to do this, you know. I don't.
How much do you spend on a season? If you even want to share that.
I'll share it. I just gotta think. I don't know, dude. Like in Pro Spec, we were spending about 30 to 40, and some teams could spend significantly more than that. We probably spend like 60 to 80, maybe a little bit more. Probably 80. Probably
that's
80.
crazy.
I mean, it's a lot of money.
Which
yeah.
that's probably on the lower side for pro, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
There are teams that spend millions with an S.
Oh, I know that.
And there are a lot of the teams will spend well over 100 or more, you know. And for me, it's like, you know, we have a great title sponsor, but it's not $1 million. It's not even $100,000, you know. And they do a great job at supporting us and making sure we have all the tools we need to look good on and off the track, which is a big reason why we were able to up our branding from like just regular to like now we have a 400 square foot merch store that you can walk into and buy stuff. Now we have like, of course, we just got an awning with a new trailer, but like they made us set up with like 2 matching 20 by 10 tents. So we had like a good display. They help us out with our merch. They have like a full print shop in house. So like we're able to look like a rich race team without being one. So Coilover Depot is dope for that. We love that. But yeah, I mean, we don't spend a lot in the grand scheme. We're probably bottom 3 spending in the year. You know, like me and a couple of boys rent a shop together. So I have a race shop. But it's a great place. It's really nice. But we live in an area where rent's cheap. So we're lucky with that.
Kind of have to.
Yeah, and I sublease to 2 of my homies to help bring the cost down, and we build our shit there, and we do everything ourselves because we can't afford not to. My boys work for me for free because they just want to see me do well, which is insanely awesome. So yeah, that's a lot of the reason why we're able to keep budget down so much, and it's mostly just fuel, tires, and Airbnbs, diesel fuel, race gas. I mean, that's our biggest expenses, and of course, it's $10,000 to sign up, so that sucks. $10,000 for them to make money.
Yeah, just to have your name on it. Doesn't guarantee anything else.
No, but like the platform is huge, you know, like obviously I have millions of followers. It's so much room for growth and opportunity, I guess, for growth more than anything, and like really put yourself out there, and they kind of make it sky's the limit, which is sick. Give us a good platform to do all this on, and driving is so fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I spend everything I got. That's about it. My boys help me out any way they can, not money-wise. My parents help me out as much as they can. My mom makes a lot of my merch. Anything Coilover Depot doesn't make, she makes in the basement with shit that I had bought like years ago. So she loves it. My dad usually drives our race rig and helps run the merch booth and stuff. Like They say they're not about it, but they're about it.
They're about it, yep.
They love it. You know, I've
get
been an
it.
athlete my whole life. They've always been number 1 and 2 supporters. So for them to do this here, I
You
love
don't see it too often, so.
No, and I love seeing it, you know, because like,
Yeah.
I'm a big family guy, of course. So having them here to support and like watch me succeed, or help me succeed rather, is just fucking dope.
It's awesome, dude.
Love it.
Well, on the support stuff, obviously it does seem like drifting is growing, but does it seem like the partnership side, sponsorship, monetary help, does it feel like that's still growing with the sport, or is it? Like,
Yes and
how
no.
does it feel to you?
Yes and no. So weird year. There's a war. There's tariffs. There's crazy gas prices. So a lot of them are pulling back. But for me anyway, maybe
Same
not for
here.
everybody.
That's what I've been hearing from everyone.
And I've heard it from a lot of people too. So it's a weird year right now. Like last year I had my best year ever. This year I had my worst year in 5 years, including ProSpec. So, you know, the boys that are still with me, like I hold no fault to them. I love the guys. They're great. They've supported me for so long. Pretty much all my partnerships are long-term guys that I've been with. And some of them are like, dude, we paid $250,000 in tariffs in the last 3 months. $250,000 in 3 months is crazy. I see why you had to pull out. Like, I get it. Like, I'm gonna support you guys and rock you no matter what, because you guys have been with me since day one. You know, and yeah. So the sport's still growing. I think the money's still growing. I think we're just on an off chance here.
How do you pivot from stuff like that because you got to keep doing it?
Yeah.
Like, what's the pivot for you?
The best compliment I've ever gotten from me. Other people probably think it's weird, but like, for me is like, dude, I would have quit if I were you a long time ago. I don't know how you do what you do, but you fucking surprise me every time. It's like, I'm a workaholic. My boy Austin, my crew chief, he's a workaholic. Well, we have day jobs. When we leave and we're there till midnight almost every night when it's in need, you know, and like we work our ass off. We do anything for side work, you know, out of our race shop to try to make money. IG Motorsports is my company. We sell all kinds of parts. It doesn't do a lot, you know, but it all helps. We sell Infamous Racewear is our merch company, and like we're trying to level it up and get more stuff every year, or every round rather, to where we have more things to offer and make some money that way. So any way that I can dig in and just try to make some extra bucks, I'll do it, you know. And like tough break this year is like my boy Sam let me use his stacker trailer for years, and it was sick. But he doesn't use it, you know. I was using it, and he's like, I'm gonna sell it. You go with that? He's like, you get first dibs. And I'm like, hey, it just doesn't make sense for me right now. Like, my truck's broken, and I gotta do something with the truck. I was like, just sell it, make your money. I appreciate you. And we ran across a semi for best deal in the house, dude. And got a semi
Like
for
toter?
cheaper. A semi and a stacker liftgate with a lounge for
so
cheaper
this is
than
like an actual, an
Dog.
18-wheeler.
dog. Yeah. The most official shit ever for cheaper than you could buy an F-150 off the lot.
Dude, it's so funny because Matt from Synergy Race Development is one of my clients. I did a podcast with him. We went over this whole thing, plus the whole year of like planning it. He just bought a toter home, and we did the whole math of like, you know, you buy a dually, you know, 3,500 or whatever to haul your big ass fucking trailer, and none of the highway road systems are set up to revolve around your type of truck. It's all around semis, and you know, we started looking at toters and seeing what the price of those are, and you can buy a 90s toter that's in great shape, runs great for 30 grand, and that's what, half the price of a brand new F-150 like you mentioned, or whatever. So and then if you already got the trailer, now you have somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
And which you probably don't. I don't know if yours
Our
has a
team's
living
too big.
quarters or anything.
We've got, our truck's a sleeper cab, which it's in service right now, so we're on a day cab rental, but there's 2 beds in there, and then the lounge has like a sectional casting couch.
Nice.
And has like a nice like RV table and fridge and coffee maker and stuff. So you could sleep in there, but we have, when Cotty is here for ProSpec, we have 11 guys. So
that don't work.
It is a wooden
Airbnb.
Yeah, Airbnb. And we always try to get something that accommodates everybody, and it's pretty dope. But I mean, it's nice just to have somewhere to go, you know, like yesterday it got pretty hot and humid, so you can go up into the lounge. There's AC. Couch is way too comfy for its own good, and it's just a nice like little getaway. Whenever like, oh, you lose or your car breaks, you're pissed off. Just go unwind for 10 minutes, come back out, do your thing. It's just nice
Shut
to
off
have
from
that.
reality.
Yeah, and it can hold 4 cars. For us, we do 2 cars in a pit box, and all our tires fit, and you know it's a massive billboard for branding. So for me, that was another kind of avenue. And my F350 was braking so much that it was like, okay, this is obviously not made for the weight we're pulling long term. It was great. It pulled it great, but it just kept breaking down. So I'm like, we got to get something heavy duty. And we came across this deal. We flew to Orlando, drove it home.
How much was it?
$65,000.
Shut the fuck
Swear,
up, dude.
It was
Fully outfitted?
all
The way? Oh my God.
It was 80. It was up for 80, but it was an 08 truck. So you can't take it into California because there's no def. And I was like, I talked to 100 people, dude, trying to find a way to make this truck work. And my dad's like, nope, 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 you can't buy this. Do not buy this. It will not go to California. I called a California state trooper, never got a call back. So I like got on California DOT and I found an exemption for less than 1,000 miles in the state. From the border where we cross in Arizona to Long Beach and back twice is 960 miles.
Shut up, dude. That's perfect.
Yeah. So I was like, exemption, cool. We're buying this $80,000 semi. Got on the ad, 65. I was like, bro. I texted him immediately. I was like, I want this, but I'll text. It was like 9 o'clock. I was like, I'll text you tomorrow while you're getting paid and stuff. And I texted him the next day. He's like, someone's here right now to look at it. He's coming back to talk to the owner tomorrow. I was like, cool. How much money do I have to send you right now for him to leave? And he's like, send me 5 Gs. I was like, done.
That's incredible, dude.
I was like, how do you want it? Zelle, Venmo, PayPal? You tell me.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So Cotty is a CDL driver. He drives a dump truck for a living. And I was like, hey, buddy, you want to take a day off work? We got to go to Florida. He's like, why? I was like, because we need a trailer next year, buddy. We're going to Florida. Yeah, and we got there, and, like, the loan went into the bank account that day, and they wouldn't let us pay. So we got stuck there, and so, like, if we're stuck, dude, we're going to stay on the beach, dude.
Absolutely.
So happy accident. Yeah, dude. So it came at, like, the craziest deal. It's way too nice for 65 grand. Like, people are like...
Older dude selling it?
Not really. Middle age.
Oh, wow.
Has his own race shop, and like it's really dope. We bought it from Dynasty Automotive in Orlando, and they used it for like a driving instruction deal where he would just bring out a bunch of FRSs, Miatas, Civics, whatever it was, and he would like ride with you and be like, hey, this is what you do to go faster, this or that. And it's dope. You know, it's got a nice awning on it. It needs a new cover, but you know, the awnings are 20 grand, 30 grand.
Yeah, that's
so,
already half the ordeal there.
Yeah.
Which you would have to get a new one anyways.
Yeah. And it's 48 by 20s, 1,000 square foot, whereas we had like 5 tents slapped together prior to. So it's massive, massive upgrade.
Damn, that's so cool.
Yeah. So we had to come up the season. This year's, even though things are going rough, dude, like, great year.
Still got some luxuries there.
Great year. And I mean, things are going to come around, dude. Like, we all know what we're doing. We're good at working on shit. Like, we've had some unfortunate stuff go down, but, like, we've got great partners behind us. Like, as soon as we have that engine failure, Rankin builds our engines for us, and they build us a 427. And as soon as it happened, I got a call from Zach, and he's like, so what's up? And I told him, I was like, I got to go. We're going to fix this. We're going to go qualify. And he called me back, or he texted me, and he's like, bring it home in a fucking body bag, dude. And I was like, hell yeah,
That's
dude.
what I'm talking about,
So we brought it home in a body bag.
We did exactly that.
And, you know, like, they were about it, you know? Like,
why does your car sound like a damn truck?
Because there's no X-pipe.
Fix it. Oh, my God.
Maybe someday,
the one
dude.
thing that irritates me about your car.
Maybe someday. I need to, dude. It's just like, dude, shit goes wrong, and then I'm a slave to the car, and then, like, you know, when it's done, I just want to break, dude.
All right, so back with Derek Madison. I know it's kind of, we're all in Wally. You kind of look like you're in the same outfit.
I look the exact same. Black jeans every day, baby.
It is day 3, technically, of the event. So we're on the final day for top 32 of Pro. And I know we were kind of giving you shit about the way your car sounds last, but, you know, change it. That's all I got to say on that.
One day. I'm not going to say tomorrow. But one day. Maybe
By
this year.
Orlando, hopefully?
Probably not.
No.
Dude, I put a motor in a week before the first event, between the first and second event. I'm going to go home and sit. I don't really do that ever, so I might just have a couch day.
You seem so much more relaxed than every other driver here. Well, not every other driver,
I don't know,
but
dude, this is like our dream, right? Like, this is supposed to be fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I'm uptight in my own ways about the way things go on around here, but like, I've been chasing this dream since I was like 20, and this is my 8th year. I made it to pro. Like, are we winning? No. Do I believe we will soon? Yes. But like, my goal is just to have fun, enjoy it with my boys, meet new people, make friends, and live it up, dude.
You think it's been worth it so far? 20 years in, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody's got their own passion, right? For me, it's just race cars. I love race cars. Specifically, drifting is my thing. I love them all, but like, my thing is drifting. So that's why I just started a ProAm series, so I can help develop the new drivers of the sport, you know? And like, hey, if you don't like competition and you just like grassroots, dope. I love grassroots. I am at every grassroots event in my 1,100 horsepower race car, dooring 200 horsepower cars. My boy Frank has a 1UZ, and I door the shit out of him every event because I love it too. So like, I'm just about it, dude. Like, drifting is my shit, dude. Like, I just sit at the shop some nights and just drink a beer and just look at my race car and just like, hell yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, dude. Like, I think it's definitely worth it, you know? If you got a passion in life, your life's gonna have a lot more fulfillment. I feel good. And like, when I come here, I take it very seriously, but also, you gotta be relaxed, because I drive better relaxed. When I'm uptight, I drive like a idiot. So I just try to stay relaxed. I listen to music on grid. Any video you see on grid of me, my fucking head's going like this, because there's Hot Mulligan or some old school rap song in my head, and I'm just vibing, dude. Like, when I battled Dean in Long Beach, Hey Daddy by Usher from like back in the day was going, I'm like, Daddy's home, dude. And then when the battle started, I just hit record on the glasses so they would radio silence, film the run, blew my shit up, but you know, it was fun, had a blast. So for me, absolutely worth it. Gotta stay relaxed and have fun. That's why I've always got a beer in my hand after I'm done driving, because you gotta have a good time, dude.
Those are the ones that are always at least having a better time, not so stressed out, and all that stuff anyways.
100%.
You never had aspirations for any other motorsport?
Yeah. I've always wanted to do like Rallycross just because I feel like I'd be pretty good at it. I want to get in a dirt car someday so bad. So if anybody's got a dirt car that they want to let me drive for free.
Oh, you did like truck stuff too at one point, didn't you?
What?
You did truck stuff. That was kind of off-road, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. So Cletus McFarland had that Danger Ranger 9000, and I was like, dude, that's dope. And I found out you could just sign up. You don't have to get invited to that one. So I bought a Ranger. My boss, I was like, yo, we should buy a Fuel Lab Ranger. And I found one for $900 right up the road, and it needed a fuel pump. If only I knew somewhere that had fuel pumps. I work at Fuel Lab Fuel Systems. So we just dropped a pump in. You know, there's no benefit to a bigger pump there because, you know, it's not like it makes more power.
Just a stock Ranger still.
Yeah, so we just put our smallest pump in there and let it ride. And I put a cage in the car, and like my boys from Motor State Distributing had like, through All-Star Performance, they make like pre-bent cages for like G-bodies. It was one of the G bodies, dude. It fit right in. Yeah,
that's
I had to make
wild.
custom door bars, but like the A-pillars worked because you didn't have to have a windshield, so they stick out a little, but no big deal. And like everything just went right in. I welded in and went, and they sent me like a window net and a few other things. I used an old NRG seat that I had just sitting on the shelf that has been expired for years, and just rock it out.
How much in on this truck were you?
I would say labor was obviously a lot more, but I did it all myself. Maybe 2 G's, but no, probably 25. Because of course, we bought nice black dirt track wheels, and we bought a brand new set of tires for it. So that was a big spender. That was like $700 combined. And then I rattle bombed it black with like a nice rattle bomb can, and it didn't look great, but it looked way better than it did. And my boy Kyle at Vision Visuals wrapped the whole thing for me, liveried it up, dude. And we rolled up into Bristol. Now everybody's got these shitty spray painted trucks, and we've got this dope ass Ranger. And we probably qualified like 11th, finished 7th, and it was at Bristol on dirt. So I had some circle track, and it was on dirt, which was sick. Just being in Bristol was awesome, and we did pretty well. And I was like, damn, for my first time, I did way too well. Like, I felt really comfortable in all of it. And I went down to Freedom Factory and did it there as well and finished 8th there. But the truck was running like shit. But no, dude, no, it was backwards. 8th in the first one, and it started to like chop out because we didn't even give the truck a tune-up before we went. Yeah, minor oversight. And we cleaned it up in the next one, but we didn't have tires sufficient enough for asphalt. So they were just like eating themselves alive. But we finished 7th, and yeah, that was cool. So I very much enjoy that. And I used to do a karting circuit at Worldwide Technology Raceway, the St. Louis FD course. Yeah, so they have their own karts, which are like 55, 60 mile an hour karts, and they've got a pretty dope track. And it's this thing called like iDrive, and you can just sign up and drive. And you drive one of their karts. There's weight classes, so I was in the heavyweight class, so it's not unfair. And I was sitting like fourth in the series towards the end of the year. And I missed one race because of FD, but they were double headers, and they will drop your 2 lowest scores, which were 0 and 0. And I ended up finishing 4th, but then they have a top 10 final, and they make the track bigger, and the winner gets put in a Margay Racing Ignite kart. And I was like, yo, I'm winning this shit. And the dude who won, I actually have beat him before. Like, we went back and forth. And I was like, damn, dude, could have been me. I loved that shit, dude. Karting is a blast. I'm a big dude. I'll still mess you up.
We got a pretty sick kart track right down the road from my house. And they do, like, I guess you call it competitions, like, every weekend. I mean, it fills up. And the facility's actually, like, perfect. Outdoor track.
Have you drove the indoor one at PRI?
No, I haven't.
Insane. Dopest kart track I've ever driven. It's like a 2-story where, like, it's so gripped up. But, like, when you go up to the 2nd floor, you can, like, hit the apex just right. And if once your tires are heated up and cooked, you can actually like link the whole top section and slide it. And then you go back down on the other side, and it's like a half down, half down. So you can actually link the whole thing if you get lucky enough and hit it just right. So sick, dude. But you can set down some crazy lap times. We did a competition among FD drivers a couple years ago. It was sick, dude.
Let me know when you go this year.
Oh, dude, we didn't get to go last year, but I have to make it a point to go back. It's so fun, dude. So fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hell yeah. Well, I guess one day would you consider like Rush then, since you do some karting stuff?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I would love it. I don't know what those things cost. I don't have the budget for it.
I think it's like $8,000 a round. You just show up. That's what I've heard
Yeah,
from
but what's a car
several
cost?
different people.
$8,000 a round is crazy.
But I mean, to just show up, everything's handled.
Oh, you have a car
You
for
show up. The car's there. They fuel it.
That's different. I thought I still had to buy a car, and that was just entry.
Nah,
That's
show
gangster.
up.
That's gangster.
You fly out. You get a rental car and show up. That's it.
I would do that. I don't really have $8,000 sitting to do it, but if I ever have some money, dude, absolutely. Those things look like a blast.
Yeah, you just we'll tell the boss of Fuel Lab. Just sign the check
can
real
I get
quick.
the company card, dog? Actually, I got one right here, but he'd probably be a little pissed off if I did that.
Jesus. Well, speaking of starting something new, you did mention the ProAm, so I want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah.
First explain why you decided to even do this.
So, Midwest Drift Unit existed whenever I was first getting into competition, and that's the series I drove, and I loved it. The big track at Worldwide is Gangster, which is what FD did in 2018, and that's what MDU did, and it was so sick. And MDU finally ended up shutting the doors, and ever since then, to get my license, I had to drive like 17 hours to VIR to get my license, and luckily I only had to do it once, and I got it. But ever since then, I'm like, damn, dude, like there's a void here that needs to be filled, and like someday I would love to start my own, you know, because like I consider myself a leader in things. So like if I can lead drivers down a good path, give them some good development, put them on a good track that's going to set them up well for Formula Drift. So we're the newest Formula Drift licensing series based out of St. Louis, 2 doubleheader weekends. So we'll have the weekend after the 4th of July weekend, and then again in August, another doubleheader weekend. We'll do the big course backwards, which is sick. It's more fun than the forward. Well, on sim, we have a test day coming up, so I'll update you on that. No, but on sim, you're like, dude, this rips.
fucks.
And then the second weekend, we're going to do the current FD course, and then we're going to finish on the big course. I don't know which way yet. Backwards cost me a lot more money. You know, if we, yeah, because they have
you more.
Yeah, because they have to move barriers and like tire walls and shit. So I got to pay the labor on all that because nobody goes that way. So like coming around the big loop backwards, like you go off track, you're on the grass, you're doing whatever it wants you to do. So you're going to go right into that tire wall. So they got to set up a lot of more stuff over there to make sure, A, driver's safe, B, fans are safe. So yeah, man, I mean, it's just going to be sick. We're going to have some really good drivers. It's a great track, good competition. We've got 3 good judges lined up. Tanner Berg from Fuel Lab, who is my and Cotty Dempster's spotter. A lot of experience in the game. Cotty is going to judge as well. Again, been in competition for a long time, couple years in Pro Spec. And then we're between 2 really good dudes for our 3rd judge right now. Just one of them's considering driving, so if he doesn't, we might be able to lock him in for sure. So I'm excited on that. Driver count's okay right now, but if we ramp it up quite a bit, we're going to consider a live stream, driver payouts. We're just not in the financial position to do that right now. We're just in like let's get our feet wet. We'll show everybody that we're legit. You know, we already have a pretty professional image. We get a lot of compliments for people in that, but our main goal is just make the drivers feel welcome. Let them know that like we want them here. Like we're happy they're here, as well as, you know, guide them down a good path, be hard on them in the right way to make sure that they're going to develop well as a driver. Give them some guidance on how to get sponsors, how to do this. And nobody teaches anybody that, right? I mean, unless you watch somebody on YouTube that's dropped a video, you know, like you really don't know. I get that. That's one of the most asked questions I have is like, yo, how do you get your sponsors? And, you know, we're going to do some stuff like that with the drivers. Maybe just do a couple pre-recorded seminars, send them out. Maybe we'll do a live one, just to allow these guys to kind of get their feet wet. And for the driver that wins the series, our partners, Rankin Technical College, that builds our motors, they're giving them a brand new, like, 408 stroker engine so they can put it in and get ready for Pro 2, Pro Spec. So that's sick. And we've got a lot of partners that want to give in for stuff like that. Like, you know, got a potential deal working with Silvers where they might give out a set of coilovers right now to the winner. Like, that way they're prepped and ready, and that can develop into future partnerships and stuff like that. You know, we've got a couple other companies on the hook that are very interested in doing some stuff like that. We're working on a deal with a golf cart company right now, and they might reman a golf cart to give to the champion. Look around you. This place is huge. You can't do it without a golf cart. Like,
oh, no.
I mean, you can.
Awful.
It would just suck, dude. If like your truck would have to go everywhere, and moving your boys around and quick rushes back to the pits is hard to do in a full-size
golf cart
vehicle.
rental's about $400 for the weekend, so
yeah,
it's not cheap.
It's like $200 a day here.
Yeah,
or something nuts like that. So yeah, I mean, we're just trying to make sure that we develop a guy and really help set him up to do well in Pro Spec. And those tracks are, one of them was an FD track, and another one was an old FD track that's crazy fast, and it's just really gonna like mentally, physically, and car prep them to do well here.
Yeah.
You know, because you put them on a hard, fast track, you go to FD, nothing's gonna bother you anymore.
Well, just to touch on like prepping drivers, because you mentioned, you know, they don't really get the type of teaching that is needed to get them to the Pro Spec level. So other than obviously like seminars and like all that stuff, you could give a driver as much information as possible, but like, are they really gonna act on it? So what other ways do you think could improve that and really prepare drivers for actual FD? I know we were talking a little bit off camera. Yeah. I said just make good-looking cars a part of tech. That's the first priority. I will always say that.
Yeah, I mean, a good-looking car is going to take you a long way, right? You know, like somebody reaches out to me at Fuel Lab for a sponsorship, like if their car is haggard, not well put together, they're not a good representative of our brand. You know, we have a very professional image as Fuel Lab, and like we build great parts for everything we do. So we're going to want to partner with a car that looks clean cut, nice, reliable, and represents itself well. Styling is kind of personal based, but as long as you have a well put together piece, like that's a big part of it. I don't know that it'll be in tech, but it'll be a heavy guideline of like, yo, we need you to at least have it all one color and sponsor stickers up.
Like that's all it's needed, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I drove ProAm, people were coming with no bumpers, like missing side skirts, shit's broken in half, different colors. And I was just like, damn, dog, like $300 for some single stage, just go buy it. You can get it on Amazon. It'll ship to your door. Just do white, black, whatever. It's good. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're gonna wreck it. Like you're gonna hit somebody or something. But yeah,
It's
so
the effort that people look for.
exactly.
But you show up in a dog shit looking car, it obviously shows that you don't care about
Effort is
anything
dead.
other than driving.
Effort is the best word. Like, if you can't even put effort into yourself, how can I expect you to put effort into me? Because I'm an afterthought, right? You are going to focus on driving and like making sure you were at the event. But if you can't even do that to 100%, how are you going to cover the secondaries, which is pleasing partners or anything else?
Any good looking program starts with a good looking car. So why wouldn't you even
absolutely
tackle that before going into any type of competition, whether that be
pit
ProAm
presentation
or just something local?
Yeah, pit presentation, having it clean, having like a nice tent. It doesn't cost that much money. It's like $1,000. You know, you can get a custom tent made. Like you've got it. You've got a backdrop. Everything looks good here. You have a professional image, as do we. And like, you don't have to spend a ton of money more so than just a little bit of effort. You know, you can buy your own cricket for $80, and then you can make whatever sticks. That's what I'm saying, dude. I bought a 34-inch plotter on Amazon when I was like 20, and I was like, sick. I'm gonna sell stickers to make the money back on this piece, and I did. And now I make, well, now I don't. I used to make my own liveries, my boys' liveries. Now, you know, Coilover Depot handles all that with Sticker Depot, so God bless him for that. But you know, bottom line is like, you can't make someone put in effort, but you can give them the tools and the knowledge to provide success for themselves. If they take it and do it from there, that one's on them.
Oh, I get it. It's always weird to see because there are some pro-ams out there that just don't prioritize that stuff. And you really see it shoot the drivers in the foot once they get here, because then it's like a whole new ball game and they have no budget. All the cars are way further ahead. The teams are way further ahead. So it's like, what could you even implement other than just giving the information to the drivers?
Giving the information to the drivers is only part of the game, you know. That's to help them get sponsors and make sure that they're prepared for when registration comes around or for when this or that comes around, teaching them certain guidance, things like that. But to actually be prepared to drive an FD, it all starts with what you guys are doing there. If your judging standard is high, you have good drivers, and you have to have a good competitive track. You know, no disrespect to like a parking lot event, because they work, they do. But they're hard to make like a good competitive, like real layout in. It can be done, you know. East End does a good job at it, you know, but at the same time, it's not the same as a road course. You know, having a road course that you actually follow, all of your media looks dope. Elevates that, so your whole professional image is much better looking right there. But it gives you a lot more difficult of a line to where, if you go off track on a parking lot, you're just off track. You go off track here, you're gonna break something. Well, maybe not.
It's almost like the safety you feel in a sim in a way. You know there's open air outside of those cones, so if you can push a little further.
Yeah, it puts a lot more pressure on you to not go into the grass. You know, like if you drop tire and everybody drops tire, there's gonna be a rut formed. Cool, you're gonna be much more likely to stay on track because you have to. So yeah, I mean, just us giving like a good venue for them to develop on with a difficult track that's a lot of fun to drive is just going to set them up well for success when they come to a place like Road Atlanta, which is the same thing with elevation, which is more difficult, of course, but like they're going to be more prepared than somebody who's doing this in a parking lot. So I'm excited for something like that. Worldwide's been awesome to work with so far. You know, we are one of the cheapest in the east side of the U.S. You know, $1,800 for a season pass or $600 a round. So if you buy the season pass, you basically get a free round, and the doubleheader weekend makes it nice and easy on you. If you can make one weekend, you're going to be halfway in the points, and hopefully y'all come back for the second one, because one weekend can change everything, dude. I mean, I got second in the championship in Prospect with just 2 podiums, and one of them I went out in 32. So like, just because after weekend 1 you might be a little down and out, you might be feeling it, but like, come back the next month, bang it out, dude. 2 wins, you're back in the game. And you know, the championship, you know, gifts, I guess you will, or awards are sick, and we're still stacking them. I don't want to talk about some of them because I don't want to overpromise, underdeliver, but those are a couple of the locked-in ones or possibilities that are looking pretty good.
Yeah, but more to be determined.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Like I said, I wanted to be worth it for the drivers. I wanted them to be set up for success. And I feel like we're doing an all right job at it. I've been a little shitty because my car's was blown up and I had to rebuild it all in a short period of time. So posting has been limited, which is on me, but we'll start doing some driver reveals. So show some face out there, who's coming out and who's going to bang. And yeah, dude, it's going to be
Get some more
a lot
info
of fun
out there. You mentioned earlier live streams. You said you're probably going to do a live stream?
We want to. It's such a big
Why?
cost.
I want to know why.
Well, again, good for drivers. It brings viewership to their program. Good for partners, the sponsors and stuff like that, to where it brings viewership to them as well. Like, we get a title presenting company or sponsorship, partnership, and their name is everywhere. It's on the screen while competitions are going on in the background. It's on commercials. We'll do commercials for these companies, and if we can get a good viewership through the live stream, it helps grow the sport because you're going to create more fan base. You know, I share it, all my drivers share it, and then you get new fans to watch it that maybe aren't into drifting, and maybe all of a sudden they are, which is only a good thing for this sport. It grows your business, it grows my business, it grows my program, and it really just helps everything as a whole. It helps add validity to the series. And dude, I just like to watch drifting.
Do you think the
I watch
viewership's
everything I
actually
can.
there for it, though? I feel, because just from my point of view, I see a bunch of ProAms try and tackle the live stream thing, and then they don't get hardly any viewers on it. And they're like, really, live stream takes a lot to do.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you mentioned expensive. Besides that fact, it's a lot to just set up. It's a lot to manage. It's a lot to tear down. It's a lot to do all of that stuff. So in my head, I see FD, they get complaints nonstop about their live stream. I see complaints about whatever the fuck when it comes to everything to do with live stream here. So when you trickle it down to Pro-Am, you know people are not going to deal with it. So why wouldn't it be more valuable to just hire a media team and do a really good after movie?
A really good after movie would go a long way, but you know, for me, it's like, I just want to watch drifting. And like, to be honest with you, if I already know who wins, I'm way less likely to watch. Unless I'm the one who's winning or I'm in the competition, I'm going to watch the after movie, and I might watch it regardless, you know, but I'm way more likely to watch a live event because I just like sports in general. So I'm going to watch it live. And if I already know, like, James Dean won, like, and this guy was our podium.
But if you could make it
sat,
almost like a documentary style type video,
that's
to
in the
where
works
you can
too.
get the buildup of like what happened after a battle, and like it's not rushed. You don't have to like rush to the driver, have someone ready with a mic to talk to him, and then they do this half-assed questions and don't really get the answer, and like.
Yeah, so we probably wouldn't go that deep. We would probably bring it back to, like, you know, the judges, and we've got a race control director. We're going to meet with race control from FD because Chris does a knockout job here, and just kind of get some advice from him so we can just have the event flow, you know, so where there's constant action as much as humanly possible, and when there's not, we can fill it with company commercials to advertise our partners' products, and we can fill it with, you know, talking head from the announcers, which is, don't get me wrong, way less entertaining, but I think something is better than nothing. And a lot of the problem that a lot of series have is a lack of marketing to push these things out, push these products out, whether it be a live stream or whatever. They're just like, cool, event Saturday, doing a live stream, and that's that. And you don't see that post because you weren't on Instagram that day. And
Or even if I saw it, you still gave me no reason to actually watch it.
yeah.
There's plenty of live stream drift events.
Of course, but and then on the aspect of people complaining about stuff, dude, you're never gonna make everybody happy, but you might make 1,000 people happy versus, you know, the 1,500 viewers. If 500 people are bitching, guess what? They're still watching. And even if they leave early, like, cool, they showed up, they watched, they're aware of us, they know it's here. Like, hey, maybe that's just room for improvement for the next one. But we chatted with Wild Bear Studios on it, and they do East Ends, which is a pretty decent live stream. And they were aware of a lot of the issues that they had over the last race season. And they got on, they're like, hey, this is what we did to improve. We did this, 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 and this. I mean, they're well put together. They're smart dudes. I like Tyler a lot. And his brother seems to be very knowledgeable on the aspect. So just being aware of their own issues and being able to develop that into new things. The live stream resembles FD's, which is a professional look in my opinion. And they're able to put in a lot of things to add value to partners and stuff. So if we market it properly, we would be able to do it well. But like you said, on like the documentary series, there's another media team that has reached out to us and wants to do a Drive to Survive series for very little money, you know? So if we can swing that at minimum, that would be dope. But we're not going to do a live stream unless we really land some good partnerships or a lot more drivers, just because this track is so nice that it just costs a lot of money to rent and operate on. And that's a good problem to have. I'm okay with that. But I'm never going to set myself up to fail. So if it's like, hey, dude, you're a little short on the live stream, we're just not going to do it. We'll shoot again next year. We'll get our bearings, make sure that we can run a good shop or a good ship, and carry it on and build from there. But I think there's value to be had. You know, even though there are a lot of downsides, there are plenty of upsides that add value everywhere else. You know, like these drivers can provide their partners extra video footage. They can buy all of the clips from the live stream to have for media, and they can have all the good angles. They can have the talking head of the announcers talking about how good they're doing or whatever the case may be, just to kind of add to it. It just gives them more deliverables to give their partners. It's more deliverables for us to give our partners. And, you know, it opens up drifting on another bigger stage. You know, FD is just one body. Yes, they are by far the biggest in the US, but the more the merrier in my book, because, you know, the bigger drifting is, the bigger my business is, the bigger your viewership is. And in my opinion, it just adds wins all around, even though there might be some downsides.
Yeah. I've just always been curious what the concept is behind the live stream for lower scale events, because it just, me as an outsider, not an outsider, but like someone that doesn't really care for competition, I would much prefer to watch the documentary style after movie, see the build up of like what happened after this battle, but even if I know the winner already, it just seems better to me. You get more of a storyline, and you don't get all the action and the characterized personalities of people that you get in the documentary series.
Absolutely.
None of that comes from a live stream.
And our boys do want to do stuff like that. You know, like they want to pull drivers aside mid-comp, like when they're downtime, obviously, pre-comp, post-comp, and just allow them to get their personality out in the world, which is a big problem that we have here at FD. You know, unless you win a battle, you have no way on this stream to show any bit of your personality. You're just a driver and a number, you know? So the goal is to hopefully do something like that. Like I would say, because of price, that's going to be a higher priority for us. It's going to be a lot easier for us to do, and it still adds value, validity, and stuff like that. And maybe we can sell that series next year, you know, pay for it ourselves that way, or have them pay for it so that we're not out of pocket out of the series for it. And to me, it's just all potential for growth for everyone. And that's my goal, honestly, because I could care less if I make a dime on this series. If I do, sick. But my goal is to grow the sport of drifting, because that's going to grow my professional race program. That's going to grow my series. It's going to grow IG Motorsports. It's going to grow all my partners, like, as well, you know, like even in FD, because you're buying drift parts, it helps everybody. So to me, it's the overall big picture, and it's kind of a passion project. I love drifting.
That's the best way to do it.
This shit's my life, and I just want to make it better.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, on the topic of it, is there any like major rules or anything that you want to make sure get touched on? Any specific like tire regulations, stuff like that?
Yeah. So we're going to follow the FD ProAm rulebook. Our number one concern is safety. The track is very fast. You're cooking 70, 80 the whole time. So the Hans device, neck restraint, whatever, is going to be a big thing. Fire suit, gloves, all that stuff. Proper seat. Those are going to be stuck to like crazy. You know, some of the other stuff that's maybe a lesser concern we might let slide. Rather it be a safety cell. As long as you have a safe cell, we'll talk about it. You know, no leaks, no nothing. I know there's other series doing stuff like that. Or like certain things that I feel could be bypassed will be within reason. You know, but we want it to be safe. We want the cars to be well set up safe. And we want the driver to come out unscathed if there ever were an accident. So that's number one there. As far as tires go, we are an open tire rule, 255 max. Oh, open tire manufacturer rule. I'm sorry. Open tire manufacturer rule, so you can run whatever brand you want. You can run anything above a 200. 200 treadwear is the lowest. So you can run 200, you can run 300, you can run a 700 if you can find it. I don't care. You're going to get whooped, but that's not my fault.
Good luck finding a tire like that.
Yeah, and a 255 max. So Kenda tire is our official tire, and there will be a contingency program for drivers that are running Kendas on all four corners and run a sticker. Winner will get 6 tires. Second place will get 4, and third place will get 2. So if you're on the podium, you're already set up for the next round. You're chilling. We should have the tires right there and ready. You can take them with you. or you can use, if you win on Saturday, you can use them on Sunday. Rankin Technical College is bringing out students and instructors, and they're going to run tires for free for any driver, whether you bring them or buy them from me. I'll be selling Kendas as part of our deal with them. I will make very little money on them. My goal is just to help drivers get in. I think I make $5 a tire just to handle my, logistics of having to get on and doing it. But they're going to ship them direct to the track, so you don't have to worry about loading them into your trailer. And you'll just have to take them home with you whenever, if you have any left over at the end of the weekend. Tire consumption is going to be a big thing because the track is long and fast. So running a Kenda is going to help you a lot because those things, even though they're grippy as shit, they last a long time. So that'll be a big benefit.
What's the estimated amount of laps there that you would normally see?
1,000 horsepower car, 2, they're flat. There is no tread left after 2 laps. If you're
Just
making
to give us
5,
something to gauge off of.
yeah, 500, you can do 3 to 4 laps. On a Kenda, like when I run other brands, 2 laps, my tires are cooked. On a Kenda, I take them off with tons of tread here, and I take them home and I run 3 laps at jam days. So I have a ton of used Kendas just sitting in my shop right now, so I can use them at jam days. I'm not paying for tires on fun days. So having a Kenda, I haven't done it, so I can't speak on facts, but I would say 4 laps would be a cakewalk. And honestly, the money spot on those Kendas is probably laps 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, because you get into the good tread, you get the right amount of heat cycle in them, and they operate really well. So you just put a good cook on them in the burnout box. They'll be great on laps 1 and 2. Take them out for 3 and 4, chilling. So yeah, and we'll do qualifying. So you can use the same set for both qualifying laps, and then once that's set, top 32, top 16, whatever it ends up being, we'll let it bang there. Right now we're set up for a 16. We want a 32. So sign up on PitPay app now. So everything is done through the PitPay app. That's how the track wanted it done. We may end up changing that next year depending on how it goes. So if you download the PitPay app, you can get on the website and view the stuff, but it usually makes you buy or download the app, which sucks. Inconvenient, but it's right there. It allows you to take care of everything. You can sign your waiver online, so you don't have to dick with that when you get to the track. You can buy spectator tickets through there. Your entry fee will come with 1 crew guy, so you get 1 dude free. Saves you $20 a day. And then you can buy your spectator tickets. It's $20 a day or $30 for a weekend pass, so you can watch both events, save you some money. Hopefully bringing in some bleachers and stuff for everybody. We've got a lot of vendors that want to come out and set stuff up. Oil companies. My company, IG Motorsports, will have stuff to prep for the drivers. Cool stuff for guys to buy. We'll have our merch store set up. And a lot of other dudes are going to want to do the stuff like that. Like my buddy Chris from 777 Drift, Chris Hill, always has the dopest merch booth. He's got dope merch. And so he'll have stuff set up too. So we're going to have a lot of cool stuff going on there. And just want to make, not just drivers want to come there, we want to make fans try to come there. So we're always open to suggestions. What do you guys want to do at a drift event? What would you do? What would you want? If you were going to go somewhere to spectate, obviously you want to watch competition, but there's going to be downtime. What's your priority?
Well, that's hard because I don't get to go to events and be a spectator hardly ever anymore. Fighting the boredom and the downs. I personally wish more events would bring out like stunt riders or someone, a team of drivers, like say Team Hayes or one of the final bout teams. Have them come out and fill up the track while there's downtime. I'm so sick of just like, I think it was Wednesday. We were just sitting up there watching practice, fucking wreck happens and there's 30 minutes, but there's half the track that's just empty. Nobody's at. You could have stunt riders out there doing something. Keep them busy. But we're sitting there like, dude,
we've got a big stunt scene in St. Louis. So, I agree with that, though, for real. I just, there has to be a gap at some point because our safety guys and our track heads have to go to the bathroom or they got to eat. So, you could always swap people out for stuff like that. But no, I think that's a great idea. And stunt riders, you can set up a K-rail box in the pits and have them go to town and shit like that and just give them a window to do it or window to not do it, and they can hang and watch and have them come out for free. If we got to pay them, that's another expense that just adds to the list of sucky.
Yeah, I don't know how the logistics works for that. So
yeah,
but it's also something that people bitch about.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be a lot of work logistically. I underestimated it still.
Oh, I could
This
imagine.
is so much, dude. So much to try to set all this up, like handle all the logistics of renting the track, setting it up, talking with people. Conversations are tough because they're usually through email, so you got to be on the ball there. And just making sure you can get vendors out, making sure you can get drivers out, spectators, have everything ready for them when they get here. Dude, it's tough. But it'll be rewarding after weekend one when it's a success and everything went well and we get to see the fruits of our labor, you know? Like right now, I've got a good team. Zach from Rankin's going to be our race control, and he's helping me out with a lot of logistics. Tanner, Judge and from Fuel Lab, he's been helping me out with a lot of it. Nick Quigley is going to be the head of our media, which only makes sense because he was the head of MDU's media. No brainer, you know? Bring back the past a little bit. He's been around for a long time. He knows the spots to shoot at that track. So, you know, he'll be able to head that up and take good care of that. So media applications are on our website, gatewayproam.com. Still in the handover stage right now. So I'm not getting the applications yet. So if we don't respond, we will. We're working on that this week. So hopefully before this episode comes out, we'll have full access to the site and be able to see all that. You can buy the Kendas through that website as well for $150 shipped to the track each. Yeah, so that's pretty simple. What I'll do is I'll just collect the money from everybody, and then I'll put together a PO, send it off to Kenda. They'll send me a truck full of tires, and everybody can just let it bang. When they get there, we'll have a checklist to get tires out. One of the instructors and tuning instructor from Rankin is going to handle all the tech inspection, so it'll be done by a legitimate party. And yeah, well, there's opportunity for students to learn there as well, because, you know, they're in a motorsports program. They have a lot to learn, and that's all part of it, dude. That's one thing you can't teach in a classroom, actual track etiquette. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great for our partners, great for the fans, and great for the drivers. All the drivers are going to feel very loved when they show up.
Good, dude. That's exciting. I'll be stoked to see how it turns out and everything.
I'm just like, dude, I've driven a lot of events, right? You know, I've driven a lot of series. I've driven cash grabs. I've driven ProAms, Pro. And I know where the goods are, and I know where the flaws are. So what I'm trying to do is take the good, add to the good, take the flaws, make them less of a flaw, or even just make them good. You can't fix everything, and you can't please everybody. But we're going to do our best to make sure that we bring the best product to the table when the time comes. You know, Sticker Depot is going to cover all of our prints and stuff like that. So all our door cards, windshield banners, they look dope. They're going to print our skateboard trophies, which are going to be dope as shit. We are going to have like a nice big silver trophy for the champions. Looking into a wrestling belt.
Oh,
it just feels right.
No.
Feels right, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
Imagine, dude.
That's some MDU shit.
And then, you know, there may just be a surprise battle at the end of it for the champion. We'll see.
Interesting. Well, it sounds like you're going to be doing a lot more than most Pro-Ams do. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
I think you'll have a good turnout, and it'll keep
we
growing.
just got to communicate it well, put it out to the people, let them know how dope it's actually going to be, which I need to do a better job on.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I'm excited, dude. FD's looking really good for us this year. Everybody's been backing us really well. The boys on the team have been knocking this shit out of the park for me. And family's taking care of me, and everything is very solid. It's looking good. We're doing nothing but improving. And we're going to build a good Pro-Am series to help develop some other drivers along the way. And it's going to be a good year.
Good deal.
Be a good year.
Well, what are you doing prepping going into this battle real quick?
So car was kind of driving like shit on Thursday. So doing a spring change in the front, try to loosen up the front end some so it can actually drive a little bit better. It's kind of pissed off to initiate. So we'll play with some shock settings for the first 2 practice laps. The second 2, we'll just lock in. You know, if we got to throw the other coils back on to be happy, we'll do it. But we're feeling pretty good. You know, we got Chris Forsberg. He's obviously sick. So we'll be able to stick it right to him and, you know, give him the full beans. Looks like on the data I'm a little slower than him from the start line to the top of the keyhole. So in the chase, I'll just make that up. And on the lead, I'll just drive my run that I feel comfortable with. We've had limited practice this weekend, so I'm not at max comfortability. I'm kind of going slow on the run up. But hopefully we have an opportunity to dial that in practice and feel good about it, dude. I think it's going to be a good weekend.
Are you ever, like, plugging into the link and changing stuff in the middle of all this
Unless
stuff?
it runs like shit, no.
No.
I just let it bang, dude. I change my setup very little unless it's a need. I just drive because that's what I do best, you know? Like, I'm not a suspension engineer. You know, we've got dudes that know what they're doing, but, again, not engineers, suspension engineers. So we do our best out here. You know, we're a very low-budget team, and we just try to stick it to the big dogs as best we can. And so far we've done a pretty good job. You know, we beat Turk twice last year. We gave James a good run 2 years ago. You know, I want the big dogs, dude. I want the big
Crazy how
dogs.
simple you keep everything. Because, like, you see people over here, they guys, after every run, they got the laptop out, they're plugged into the link, they're making adjustments on the fuel map. And,
Yeah, you know, and like, not that that's a bad thing. You know, if there's an issue, you should adjust it. But like, you know, our car runs good. So if we can just keep it going that way, like, why change it and make the car feel different every lap? You know, like I said, unless it's a need or if it's an improvement, like you go farther in competition, everybody is going faster. So if you have to make a suspension change, a shock setting change to go a little faster, tire pressure go faster, cool. But like for us, it's like, keep it simple, dude. Like if you overcomplicated it, if you overcomplicate it without the knowledge to back it up, you will fail. It's just naturally going to happen. And, you know, we've got a good knowledge base. We've got some great boys, but we just don't want to overdo it and complicate ourselves out of the fight. So I just drive. I'm good at driving around issues. So if one pops up, still going. Still going.
we just make it happen either way.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
it's all
cool,
about,
dude.
dude. We love this shit.
Hell yeah. Well, for
it back.
sure, good luck going in this battle.
Thanks,
Think
my
you
boy.
got
Appreciate
it.
you.
You'll figure it out.
It'll be a good day. Regardless, good day. We'll have a good top 16 break no matter what.
Hell
And if we're
yeah.
in the show, hell yeah.
Well, sick. Well, is there anyone you want to shout out that we missed? Or
Oh, dude, I don't know, dude. I just always
plug
think,
your own stuff?
yeah, I mean, always. I always want to thank my partners, dude. Coilover Depot, you guys are the boys. They help me out so much on the visual side as well on the car side. Silvers North America, they work together well to make sure we have a good suspension package. Fuel Lab always lets me off work, pays me to be here, which we love that, dude. So we race 8 weeks a year, so we need that. Like, all the boys are great. IG Motorsports, if you ever need any parts for your car, hit them up. You need suspension, Coilover Depot, your guys. Fuel systems, you know the deal, dude. Fuel Lab. I don't know, dude. You guys want some fresh gear? Infamous Racewear is our merch company. There's way too many, dude. Durali fans always
Too hard
ripping
to
it.
remember everything, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially when you get put on the spot, right? It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. But you know, if you got any, one of the biggest ones, man, is if you are young and you want to get into motorsports, Rankin Technical College is the place to go. I went there for automotive, learned a lot. Their motorsports program is a whole different level. They're going to be one of the only accredited programs for at least 2 years with this new program they're coming out with this fall. And you're going to learn a little bit of everything to get you set up. Job placement there is crazy. Like, they got NASCAR teams hitting them up, IndyCar teams hitting them up. Like, yo, we need techs. Like, who do you got? Who's good? We had an intern on our team last year. Immediately went on with Porsche. Like, didn't even get a chance to go motorsports.
Dude.
Porsche hit him up. We're like, we want this kid.
Normal universities are a scam, bro. Go to technical colleges.
Yeah, oh,
I promise
100%.
you.
And these dudes are going to set you up right. Like, when you leave, you'll know how to tune. You'll be able to fabricate stuff, build a race car. You won't be an expert in everything, but you'll have a damn good start because you become an expert by doing this shit for 10, 20 years, you know? So it's definitely a big thing.
Well, cool, dude.
I'm fired up on it.
Hell
Fired
yeah.
up on all my partners. Thank you to
Um,
everybody. I'm sorry if I forgot you. I still love you.
It's all good. Everyone forgets at least one, so
I'm a mess.
they know. They know. You're
They know.
good. But I want to say thank you for taking the time, especially coming back second day after
course, dude.
all of our shit dying. That was my bad.
That's all good, dude. Thank you
but-
for having me, dude. I always love being on this shit.
Absolutely, man. You're always welcome, and go get them. You got
Thanks,
this
dog.
shit today.
Thank you. Appreciate you, boys.
Absolutely.